Imagine buying a TV that turns into a mirror, or one so heavy it could literally break your floor. Or even worse, a TV that nobody could actually watch comfortably. These weren't concepts, they were real products sold to real people, and they all failed. Today, we're diving into the strangest, most ambitious, and most useless TV inventions ever made. Television has always been more than just entertainment. It's been a symbol of technology, luxury, and sometimes pure experimentation. But not every innovation was a success. In fact, some ideas were so ahead of their time that they completely flopped. First up, the mirror TV. At first glance, it looks like a normal mirror, but turn it on and suddenly it becomes a television. Sounds futuristic, right? Well, this idea actually started gaining attention in the early 2000s, with luxury brands like Sierra and later Samsung experimenting with it. At the time, it felt like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, a hidden TV inside your mirror. But here's where things started to fall apart. First, the price. These TVs weren't just expensive, they were ridiculously expensive. We're talking thousands of dollars, just for a TV that hides behind glass. Second, the picture quality. Because you're literally watching through a reflective surface, the display always looked dull. Less brightness, less contrast, and nowhere near as sharp as a normal TV. Third, lighting issues. During the day, the reflection made it harder to see anything. At night, it worked better, but still not good enough. And then came the biggest problem of all. Nobody actually needed it. People realized, why would I pay more for a worse TV just so it can pretend to be a mirror? Instead of feeling like the future, it felt like a gimmick. But here's the twist. Mirror TVs didn't completely disappear. They quietly moved into luxury homes, hotels, and bathrooms, places where style mattered more than performance. Today, they still exist, but not as a mainstream product. Then came 3D TVs. After the massive success of movies like Avatar, everyone became obsessed with one idea. What if you could bring that same 3D experience into your home? And companies like Sony, Samsung, and LG jumped in fast. Around 2010, 3D TVs were everywhere. Advertisements promised something revolutionary. Movies will come out of your screen. You won't just watch, you'll experience. And for a brief moment, it actually felt magical. Putting on those glasses for the first time, seeing objects pop out of the screen, it felt like the future had finally arrived. But then, reality hit. First problem, the glasses. To watch anything in 3D, you had to wear special glasses. Not the cool kind, but bulky, uncomfortable ones. Some TVs used active shutter glasses, heavy, expensive, and needed charging. Others used passive glasses, lighter, but with lower quality. Either way, watching TV suddenly became less comfortable than before. Second problem, headaches and eye strain. Many users started complaining. Headaches, eye fatigue, dizziness. Because your eyes were constantly trying to adjust to an artificial sense of depth. What was supposed to be immersive became exhausting. Third problem, no content. This was the real killer. There simply wasn't enough 3D content. Only a few movies supported it, TV channels barely used it. Even gaming support was limited. So most of the time, you were just watching a normal 2D TV with extra cost. Fourth problem, too much effort. Think about it. You sit down to relax and now you have to find your glasses, make sure they're charged, adjust settings, sit at the right angle. It turns something simple into something inconvenient. The slow death. By 2015 to 2017, 3D TVs started quietly disappearing. Even big brands like Sony and LG stopped making them. No big announcement, no dramatic ending. They just faded away. 3D TVs didn't fail because they were boring. They failed because they were too much work for something people didn't really need. Next is projection TV. Before flat screens, there were monsters. Not the kind you see in movies, but the kind sitting right in your living room. Rear projection TVs. These things were everywhere in the late 1990s and early 2000s. And at the time, they felt huge. Because they were. The illusion of big screen. Back then, having a big TV was a big deal, and projection TVs promised exactly that: a cinema-sized screen in your home. Instead of a traditional display, these TVs used a projector inside the box that bounced light onto the screen. It sounded advanced, almost futuristic. But here's what they didn't tell you. See, first, the size. These TVs weren't just big, they were massive. Deep like a cupboard wide, like a cabinet, heavy like furniture. Moving one wasn't a task, it was an event. You didn't reposition it, you planned your entire room around it. Second, the weight forget lifting it alone. You needed 2, sometimes 3 people, careful coordination, and a lot of patience. One wrong move, and you're either injured or the TV is. Third, the picture quality. For something so big, you'd expect an amazing picture. But instead, you got dim brightness, washed out colors, poor viewing angles, sit slightly to the side, and the image would start to fade. Fourth, maintenance problems. These TVs weren't just heavy, they were high maintenance. Bulbs needed replacement. Alignment issues were common. Dust inside could ruin the image. Owning one felt less like having a TV and more like maintaining a machine. Then everything changed. In the mid-2000s, something new entered the market. Slim, sleek, wall-mountable TVs, LCD, and plasma displays. Suddenly, TVs became thinner, lighter, sharper, and easier to move. And just like that, these giants started to feel outdated. The fall projection TVs didn't fade slowly. They disappeared almost overnight. Because once people experienced a flat screen, there was no going back. Then came the all-in-one dream, a TV with a built-in DVD player. No extra wires, no extra devices, no clutter. Just insert a disc and press play. In the early to mid-2000s, this felt like the perfect solution. Brands like Sony, LG, and Philips pushed these combo TVs hard. And for a while, people loved them. Especially kids' bedrooms, small apartments, travel setups. It was simple. It was clean. It just worked. But then, the downside revealed itself. First problem, one failure equals total loss. This was the biggest flaw. If your DVD player stopped working, you couldn't just swap it out because it was built into the TV. So now you had 2 bad choices: repair it, often expensive, or replace the entire TV. A small issue became a big problem. Second problem, no upgrades technology was evolving fast. Soon came Blu-ray players, USB media, streaming. But your combo TV, it was stuck in the past. You couldn't upgrade just the player. You had to replace everything. Third problem, bulk and design limitations. Adding a DVD mechanism inside the TV meant thicker design, more moving parts, higher chance of failure. At a time when TVs were becoming slimmer, these started to feel outdated. Fourth problem, changing habits. This was the final blow. People slowly stopped using DVDs altogether. With the rise of digital downloads, streaming platforms, the built-in DVD player became useless. The quiet end. Just like many convenient ideas, this one didn't crash dramatically. It just faded away. Because people realized something simple. Separate devices are actually better. The all-in-one TV promised simplicity, but delivered limitations. And when technology moved forward, it got left behind. Then came transparent TVs. A TV you can literally see through. At first, it sounds unreal, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. And honestly, it does look incredible. Companies like LG showcased these futuristic displays around 2019 to 2021, and instantly, people were amazed. A screen that disappears when turned off, and becomes a display when turned on. It felt like the next big evolution of television. But then, reality kicked in. First problem: the core experience is broken. Let's think about this. When you watch TV, you want to focus on the screen. But with a transparent TV, you're also seeing the wall behind it, objects moving in the background, light passing through. Your brain is constantly distracted. Instead of immersion, you get interruption. Second problem: poor contrast and visibility. Because the screen isn't fully solid, blacks don't look black. Colors don't pop. Brightness feels weaker. Everything looks slightly washed out, especially in a bright room. Third problem: lighting ruins it during the day. It gets even worse. Sunlight plus transparency equals barely visible content. So unless you're in a perfectly controlled environment, the experience just falls apart. Fourth problem: it solves nothing. This is the biggest issue. Ask yourself, what problem is this actually solving? Regular TVs already look great. They already turn off into a black screen. They already fit into modern homes. A transparent TV doesn't improve anything. It just looks cool. Where it exists today, just like mirror TVs, transparent TVs didn't completely fail. They found a place in showrooms, retail displays, luxury tech demos, places where attention matters more than usability. Transparent TVs prove one thing: just because you can build something doesn't mean people actually want it.